I got it just right that time, didn't I? With the auto stop. All right. As far as cabinet quality goes, Pooley Manufacturing did not make crap. They made excellent quality cabinets. Definitely, easily matches Victor in quality of the cabinet itself. Pooley, like I said, did make cabinets for Victor early on, and you didn't make things for the Victor company unless you made a quality product. Otherwise, you didn't get your foot in the door. And like I said, the way they're put together is almost identical. The construction methods, the style, everything. Absolutely, pretty much everything, except, the top is a little different. Another thing I should mention on the lids, these really should be played with the lids shut. I'm not doing that now because I'm using the camera. It's in my other hand. Raising and lowering the lid is a little awkward one-handed. Don't feel like putting the camera down and do it. It doesn't make that much difference, but it does cut off a little bit of the surface noise from the reproducer on the record. You've seen me demonstrate that in previous videos. You should do that. If you're normally playing it with two hands, you can do that easily enough. All you do is you lift it slightly, pull the lid, stay back, and or forward, and just lower it right down. What else? In the differences, not really much else. They both have excellent quality motors. The Victor motor, of course, is well known for its quality, was top of the line. Sal is very close behind it. Is not different design. They had to, because again, they had to get around Victor patents. So it's not exactly the same design as the Victor, but all basically the same type of parts, working in the same sort of way. If you've worked on a Victor motor, you can work on a Sal. There's no real huge differences there. You can figure it out. And that's one of the things I had to do to this machine. I needed new springs. I had to replace the springs, and one of the spring barrels was damaged, and there was some other stuff. Luckily, I did find a replacement, another parts motor I could use. Parts machine, and it did have the reproducer. Basically, it was another floor machine like this, but somebody had sawed it in half to make it a tabletop, and it was just destroyed. Everything was just ruined on the wood, but the metal parts were fortunately good. So we were able to get this machine going. I was told by the lady that sold it to me that the previous owner definitely wanted that done. So I figured to keep the priest, keep the priest away, to keep the peace and appease the spirits, we would get the machine working, which it is now. You can hear it works just like it did 100 years ago. It's ready to play. It's all lubed up and ready to go. And like I said, with those things that are in there, I'll see if I can pop this open again. I left it slightly open so I could. Yeah. It's just a little catch there. Just right there. It's a little ball catch. You got to be careful. Use a piece of plastic when you can to do it. These little items in here, there's a little box from a pharmacy. There's a Parcheesi game. There's a handkerchief and a piece of paper that is actually a receipt from 1943 for I don't know what, but it's from the Sears company, so it could be parts ordered for this machine in 43. These were all in the record cabinet down behind the shelves. A lot of times you'll find stuff there in these older upright phonographs like this or inside the cabinet. Usually it'll be business cards, spent needles, maybe a record brush, things like that that fall in there over the decades and are forgotten. There's a little bit of extra material in there in case it's ever needed. These, I don't know what they make this out of. It's like a celluloid product, I think. It's delicate. You got to be careful with it. This one's already had some damage in the past. It's been glued back together. And the fabric helps it keep its integrity. That's why another reason why I put that on there. This is an early type of plastic. I said that, right? Yeah. I think it's celluloid. I don't really know. But that was pretty common at that time. A lot of different machines use this sort of panel like this. And look how nicely Pooley made that fit in there. I mean, it's perfect. 100 years later. And it's not warped. It's not damaged. It just, watch this. Boom. Perfect. It's right in there. Yeah, the veneer took a little bit of a beating over the years, and somebody in the past did switch the doors around. These knobs are not original to this machine. Somebody put those on there. The knobs were plain wooden ones that are actually still here on the inside. Obviously, there was a veneer issue, so they switched it around, but there's a veneer issue too. But nothing you can really do about that. It's been 104 years on, and that's pretty common with veneered machines. Both of these use veneers. Both of them. All of the big machines like this, and most of the tabletops, use some or all veneer panels. Now, some parts of this are going to be solid wood, like over here. That's solid wood. This is solid wood. This is solid wood. And the internal structure. The doors have wood and with veneer on them. So do the sides, and so does the top of the lid. The sides of the lid are solid wood. The top of the lid is veneer panel. Same thing with Victrola. These doors, you can see how they kind of sandwiched it. I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but this is a veneer panel over a different kind of wood. I don't know what the wood is. It could be poplar, elm, oak, who knows. Whatever they had, it's a hardwood though, I do know that. This is solid, this is mahogany. This is mahogany. This is mahogany veneer. And same thing with the lid, sides, that's solid mahogany. The top is a veneer panel. The only machine I can think of that is a solid wood product is going to be the Victrola 4. That uses solid panels all around because it's so small. You know, they didn't need to worry about warping. That's really the reason for the panels, you know, being used as a veneer, is to prevent warping over time, especially in climates like down south where it was very humid. Wood would have a tendency to warp, but the veneers helped prevent that. That's mostly why. Otherwise, they would have just made the doors of solid wood. It's a lot easier and quicker, you know, to do that. And back in that time, I believe wood was a lot cheaper than it is today, so they could have gotten away with it. But the Victrola 4 is solid. The 6 is mostly solid. I think the earliest ones are. Now, you know, come think about it, I think the doors were veneer on those after a while. I'd have to look and see. But anything bigger than that, you get to the Victrola 8, you're into veneers. And 9, 10, 11, 12, all the other ones, 14, 16, 17, those are all veneered machines and all for very good reasons. Not because they thought that, oh, let's be cheap and not just make solid wood. No, that's part of its construction to add to its longevity. They don't want it to warp in a couple years when it gets humid and then your machine looks like crap. No, but they did a really nice job on them too. Pooley or Victor, very nice. And Pooley actually made cabinets for a lot more than just Silvertone or Victor. They were making cabinets for most of these upright machines for the companies that offered them. Them and a few other furniture manufacturers were doing that. You know, most off-brands did not have the facilities to make their own parts. Very few did. Or if they did, it was 1 or 2 parts, while the rest would be outsourced somewhere. You know, to a furniture manufacturer, maybe to Otto Heinemann in New York City for the motor and tone arm and all of that. But there you go. There is the Silvertone in its basic operation. And that should do it for now. And of course, comparison to its competition, the Victrola 11.